Joining me now, the perfect guest to talk about it, is Ellen Huet. She's a journalist, co-author of Empire of Orgasm, a new investigative book about OneTaste. Thank you so much for taking the time. And we'll start with the sentence. Does it seem fair to you for what Daedone was convicted of doing?
Well, fair or not, that's a question that's up to the judge, and that was something that was debated in great detail today in Brooklyn federal court. Prosecutors had initially asked for 20 years in federal prison for Daedone, and her attorneys had asked for 12 months. And so the judge's sentence, after much consideration of different enhancements and factors, landed at 9 years. You can make a decision for yourself. Is that splitting the difference? Maybe that's fair.
Ellen, I'm very confused. I just went through all of the claims that were listed out by prosecutors. Anybody who's not familiar with this case would say, oh my gosh, throw the book at her. My gosh, how no one could defend her. 200 people, including high-profile names. I'm talking CNN contributor Van Jones, West Wing actor Richard Schiff. They wrote letters in support of her, attesting to her character, her generosity, her positive influence, seemingly in an attempt to get her a lighter sentence. How do you reconcile that? How do people support her unless there's, I don't know, is this just a big misunderstanding?
I mean, I was as surprised as you to see Richard Schiff's name on this list of letters. I've watched the whole series of The West Wing. Apparently his wife is a big fan of orgasmic meditation. You know, 200 letters, I think it shows that Nicole has a lot of dedicated followers, which she still does, and people who feel like she has helped them. But the judge was also pretty clear in saying that the scheme that these two women, Nicole and her second-in-command, Rachel, were both charged with and convicted by a jury of last summer, you know, could have been targeted toward a few women while many other people were unharmed. That doesn't mean that a crime didn't happen. But it's true that Nicole has a lot of supporters. Today, outside of the courthouse in Brooklyn, there were probably 50 people gathered this morning, all prepared to take lots of videos of them showing up to support Nicole and packing the courtroom to show that they want to be there for her.
And the $890,000 in restitution, why only for 7 victims?
That is a procedural question that I think depends on, those were 7 victims who happened to have testified at trial. So I think there was a specific characterization that needed to be met there.
What was her defense?
Her attorney, as well as the attorney for Rachel Cherwitz, her co-defendant, they were largely arguing that the women who were presented by the prosecution as victim witnesses had in fact wanted this, had been, had agreed to join OneTaste, had been enthusiastically consenting to every part of it. Her attorneys used phrases like they were having a blast. And these women then got up on the stand and testified about very difficult, emotional, painful, and sometimes sexual experiences that they went through at OneTaste. So it's a bit of a, they were trying to frame it in a different way, saying that these people had enthusiastically consented at the time and were only later retroactively regretting what they had done at the company.
And I understand prominent attorney Alan Dershowitz, who maybe you can clarify, I don't know what his connection is to this. I don't know if this is, Daedone is his client or friend.
It's unclear what their connection is.
So he's trying to seek a pardon for her, and I don't know what the success of that is. I don't even know if the president knows about this.
Alan Dershowitz told some reporters last week or the week before that he intends to make a case for a pardon for Nicole and Rachel to Trump. He hasn't said when. Our own records show that these 2 women have applied for a pardon. It's unclear if it will be successful, but they have, this is something that they have not shied away from suggesting is potentially a plan.
And Ellen, real quick, we have 20 seconds. This was a massive movement. This was a massive organization. So for people who don't know.
Yes, it was. They had locations in cities all across the U.S., as well as in Europe, Australia, and around the world.
Unbelievable. Okay. Interesting development. I guess we'll see what happens next. Thank you so much, Ellen Huet, for coming on, explaining us, a little bit more for people who are not familiar with this case. I wasn't even that familiar with the case. Again, I just think that contrast between what the prosecutors claimed and that immense amount of support is something interesting. And I wonder if President Trump will be persuaded by it. But anyway, we'll
have to wait and see.
Ellen, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.